This is Zenzi. Question is, am I the first philosopher ever to get a shoe deal? This. Better listen to Zenzi. I am the founder, creator, sole current financial beneficiary of the enter-cation empire, #BreakingBrilliant. This is the prequel podcast pitch. PPP, that's also the title of my book we're going to be talking about up here. Placebo power to the people. Let me slow down for y'all. I'm a Carnegie Mellon degreed philosopher who has sorted the hard problem of consciousness into an easy pivot. This is an intellectual feat. Last 2,500 years of masculine thinking hasn't been able to achieve. I don't like that word, but that's the truth. I got to out-achieve them to get us out of this achievement palaver. Everyone born on earth deserves a constitutional right to be exactly who they are. We need a global constitution. How are we going to make that happen? Going out to my very respected colleague, His Holiness, the Dalai Lama. We are thinkers. This man is a cerebral philosopher and a dazzlingly fine human. The universe in a single atom. We concur about how things work in the world. Now, Stephanie, you were able to found Lemonada. Good Lord! I have an auditory processing disorder. I'm #autistic AF, so I won't go into all that, but whoa! The fear that I got the name of your company wrong. There goes my life. Happened with my new best pal, Douglas Abrams. Accidentally called him something ever so slightly different. But see my challenge here, because I'm working here with philosopher David Abram. Okay? So David Abram is my philosopher. Douglas Abrams is my co-author. And my N=1 to getting me a professional, wise, feminine philosophy date with Jane Goodall, please. She's certainly decades and decades ahead of me. But the field work I've done on Homo sapiens is going to get us our second knowing back. This book of hope, this is what it's all coming from. I'm making a very broad statement here, Stephanie. I am the founder of the #BreakingBrilliant enter-cation empire. So what we did there, there's entertainment, edutainment, and now we're going to, right in the middle, make enter-cation, wise feminine philosophy, life-centric thinking. $billion IP streams, many of them. Kind of like really the comparable is, I'm trying to take the baton, only when she's ready. I gotta get prepared though. I am so sincerely serious that both of us have a love for Africa. It's deep, written deep in our consciousness. And she got it right. that we have to care for the people. There's no chance for the animals. There's no chance for the ecosystems of life to not go crashing out of habitable ranges. We are really close. But there's time, as she says, and we got to. But here's the thing, everyone. It's difficult. It's difficult. But we gotta immediately. We gotta. As a philosopher, let me get you to that edge. I know how to play emotions. That's why it's crazy that I'm being exterminated for how accurately I'm portraying a sort of indigenous humanness in the marketplace. It gets you killed. But there's still, even when the deaths of apartheid, the deaths of the Tibetans, it's so inconceivable. I don't understand how this is happening in the world. There is so much cool stuff to play, good games. The reason all this stuff is happening is we don't spread the money around so people can get in the games. Everyone needs quarters for the video game of life on Earth right now. Get the money out there. Get the money out there. And while I'm not a fan. Y'all don't like the doctors and the lawyers, the jokes and the who we really need to be worried the fuck about is the economists. This is what they've come up with. Death and mayhem and lack, and for billions and for most of the billions of us. Somebody need to fire the motherfucking economists. And them other people too. And notice, I'm taking down the industry of economics until it makes a better system than plantation capitalism. This is it. There's the focus. That's billions and billions and billions of dollars for me to lay out the philosophy, the philosophical method to get you. That's how all my work is about. Saving our species from self-extincting in less than 30 years. I'm not the one running things, but if y'all don't see how quickly things are going to go into dystopia, but it doesn't have to be like that. I know. You're saying that idea will never work. I got you. So back to my good new pal Douglas Abrams. One, and I need Mark to help me brainstorm the startup of the Well-Being Philosophy Institute. Which one did I say? What did I say? I'm protecting some important trademarks. Speaking of which, some motherfucker probably got the trademark on yoga. It should be BKS Iyengar. This man, I haven't really read that much of it. Doug Abrams involved in it, like with Mark Randolph. All comes together very quickly. Because this is what I put in my brain when what the society wants me to do is to either commit suicide or end up in jail. There's simply no other option that exists. Anybody, anywhere in the vicinity of what has happened to me, being criminalized for sleeping, is going to go so crazy because no one will believe them. No one, you can't possibly have had the police called on you at 7:45 a.m. on a Sunday morning at a Trader Joe's parking lot by the Trader Joe's employees. So better listen to Zenzi, the podcast prequel to the Netflix streaming series, #BreakingBrilliant. It's kind of like comedians in cars getting coffee, philosophers pontificating while procuring pizza or pastries. PPP, placebo, power to the people. That's the book pitch. So on the podcast, what we're going to do is save my life. Instead of me committing suicide or getting put in jail for being autistic, because this can't be happening, I've ever done a single thing wrong, and you are coming at me dozens of times. The city of Pacific Grove has spent the taxpayers' dollars on waking up a sleeping woman, which is to call into the cops. There's a woman sleeping in her car. Where are my civil rights to life and liberty? I keep trying to film The Pursuit of Happiness 2, and what happens to me by the vigilantes of Pacific Grove is they keep making me Sandra Bland. They're making my life so miserable so quickly for no reason that nobody will talk to me in this city. Nobody will buy me a meal. Nobody will help me do whatever the messaging things. I can't be on social media. It is poisonous to your mind. I've done it. I have control. I have not let any of the poison that is being distributed on social media into my mind, because I spent a lot of time with guys like the Dalai Lama and Desmond Tutu in my mind, holding myself up to their example. They're doing work of saving our species from self-extincting in less than 30 years. It's really, really, really crucial right now. We actually run the global thought experiments that enable us to understand we're one species. We are the only species who seems to not understand who members of our own species are. That's a part of evolution, and that's a primary dimension. That the key to many self-extinction events back in the day, environments, global coolings and such. Anyway, there's Zenzi. We're both autistic, and she's having a little bit of a movement-y thing. You'll be saving 2 lives. Podcast deal. Here's the initial terms: 6 months Airbnb and a stipend. I need devices to do it. A producer. Can be a kid. Could be or your best person. I mean, there's the potential here is, and here's my promise to you: 3 to 5 episodes in, you're going to be able to call Julia Louis-Dreyfus and David Duchovny and be like, "Oh, would you premiere this child? Let's get her an audience." I'm sincerely able to bring the philosophical method and wise feminine thinking to all 8 billion humans across every nook and cranny of Earth. This is an investment opportunity that's never existed before. Who's the smart ones to get in early? And people keep trying to coach me on how to make things lucrative for somebody else. This is the ludicrousness of my life. Never having looked at a pitch, they presume all kinds of deficiencies I have, when, as it's always been clear, and most people will talk about this, that it's my proficiencies People can't cross their guy, but I cannot excel myself staying alive. Better listen to Zenzi. It's about that we're all facing a point of individual and collective self-extinction. And this is what's making everyone cray-cray. Explaining things with the philosophical hypothesis. Bio-electromagnetism. Sort of the hard part of my consciousness into easy pivot. And then I said, well, now that I know what consciousness is, how does human functioning work? Body, mind, and soul integrated. This is how you stay alive. That's placebo power to the people. Good stuff. I swear, my friend again, Douglas Abrams, can get me into the office of the Dalai Lama's Mind and Life conference so that I can debut consciousness not as some profiting thing, but as the truth that humanity needs. Let's get us all up onto the same page. Whether I'm right or wrong, I'm getting us right up to the same page with, I am certain, the approval of His Holiness the Dalai Lama. I have put my theory of consciousness to the mental test. Now, I don't know the man from a few books here. But we will get each other because our minds are 100% beyond the faulty, flawed, and fraudulent paradigms of whiteness. So better listen to Zenzi. This is how I'm gonna prove to the world I'm the Trojan giraffe of whiteness. And focusing on ending whiteness which is plantation capitalism. Now we're looking at things a lot differently, and whoa, shift is going to occur. Harmony, Dispin. Zenzile Londolozi. These are Zulu words. My chosen soul name means I'm responsible for who I've become. Protector of all living beings.